guys. I thought it'd be fun just to have a general U-bass hang today. So I hope everybody's having a good time. But I've got the loop pedal working. I've got the adapter that I had last week plugged in. I figured out what was wrong with it last week. So thinking we can just kind of do some U-bass jams and stuff like that, kind of where we left off from last week. And then I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys have. And we'll just kind of have fun and talk about some different U-bass things and just kind of go from there. Hi, Jeff. How's it going? Thank you guys for stopping in so far. And I thought I'd give myself some intro music. It's kind of a fun little loop, right? For the record, I'm thinking C mixolydian on this. I had this like bass line. I'm kind of sliding into the third, but it's basically just major right now. But if I add this note, it'll become mixolydian. Went just straight major for a second. Right here. So the only difference between the major scale and the mixolydian mode is just having that seventh either from the major scale for the major mode or having it flatted for mixolydian. So you can kind of go back and forth between them if you're just over a C major chord. It's kind of a cool thing to mix those two a little bit. So it's not always good to do that. Like if you have a dominant chord, you wouldn't want to play that major 7 there. But it's just something to kind of mess around with. So I know last week we were trying to do some different genres. So like I would take a different style and I would use the loop pedal to kind of make a song or make a groove based on what you guys wanted to hear. So I want to kind of pick up with that since that's where we left off last time, talking about the Boss pedal. I'm still using that Boss pedal. Like I said on the last one, I don't recommend relying on the batteries. They die in about 3 hours or less. So if you end up getting the Boss RC1, definitely get an adapter as well. And I found this adapter is an aftermarket one I found on Amazon for something like $7 or something. So that's pretty cool too. Just look for one that specifically matches the Boss pedals. All right. So I'm going to ask you guys for a genre and then a key. And then and that should be enough to kind of come up with the jam. So I know last time we had a couple things. Someone had asked for a reggae one in A last time. And I ended up doing that when I came back, but I'm not sure that anybody was here to hear it because the live stream had messed up last time. I don't think we'll be having problems like that today. I think we'll be good. So just let me know. Blues and B flat. Okay. So I'll do that this time. And then if you have another suggestion, I'll do another one after this. And if you have any questions, just let me know. So with the blues, maybe we could be a little more specific. I could do a shuffle or kind of a swing, kind of walking kind of thing. Wow, I got a lot of responses on that one. So I'll start with the blues in B flat from Hayabusa. I don't even know how to say it, but cool. So blues in B flat. So I might try to do okay, you want me to walk? I'll try to do kind of like a fast walking line. I might do the cliche kind of thing just to make it quick so that the loop's not going on forever, since I'm going to do a 12-bar blues. Actually, do you want it more like a traditional blues or more like what a jazz blues would be? So like the changes are just a little bit different. It's still a 12-bar blues. More jazzy or more bluesy? Traditional, okay. So with the walking line, I'm probably just going to do that kind of stock line that you hear a lot, but I'll try to do it kind of like a medium pace sort of. So let's see. So now we got the line. Gotta think for a second. So now we've got a whole thing going on, so I can just solo over it. Add some treble so that the main line cuts over the rest of it. It's really hard to double click the pedal to stop it, but that's what I did. Yeah, I did it a little bit fast there on purpose, just because looping a 12-bar blues just kind of takes a little bit of time. So I did that to just kind of not make the looping process so long. Because if it was a slower blues with the loop pedal, and then I would do a entire 12-bar walking track, entire 12-bar rhythm track, an entire 12-bar comping track where I'm playing 2-note chords, that would just take a little bit longer. And I want to say hey to Steven Cindy. I know him as Steve. He is an excellent drummer. If you ever get a chance to hear him, he was actually the drummer that played on a few of the tracks and co-wrote one of the tracks on my CD. So, if you get a chance to give my CD where I played upright bass mostly on it, he played drums on a few tracks and co-wrote City Silhouettes. So if you get a chance to check that out, then that's cool. So I'm going to go in order of what people requested. So we had a blues in B flat, got it. Funk in G, okay? And then we'll try to do something soulful in E flat after that. Alrighty. So let's see. We've got a funk in G. What kind of funk do I want to do? I'm trying to think. I kind of like the slap tone with the flat wounds. So I'm going to try to figure out something with that. 2, 3, 4. Ooh, it's loud. I'm gonna start over because I forgot how trebly this was. So I'm gonna do the same kind of groove, but with a little bit less treble on that track. So let's try it again. Okay, I think that's pretty good for a loop. Now I'm going to add the treble back so it cuts through. That's about all I got over that one. I'm just going to fade that one out. All right, so that one's already kind of funky. I'm trying to figure out what would make something a little more soulful for the E flat one. I know I had another kind of soul funk. I might try to throw a little bit of like a Motown kind of vibe in there for that one to make it different from the last one. Let me think for a second. I gotta keep it low. Something like that, maybe? Let's see. I'm gonna give it more low end instead of high end like that so that the bass line doesn't stand it. Something like that. I'll figure something out a little bit. Yeah, I kind of like that. It kind of works. I'm going to try those. So basically, I can take off the previous loop, which happens to be both those things. Now, I'm going to add the drum track in first and then add a different melody line. I think it's okay. Okay, I like that a little better. So that's the cool thing about this pedal is when you record one thing and then you loop it again, you hold it down and it can take off the previous loop so you can make it sound a little bit better. And then I'm going to add the treble back so I can kind of just... Try to make it bluesy now. Does anybody ever sing along when they solo? When they're playing over something? It's kind of a nice sound. You can kind of just play along. So I'm over here like reading the chat while I'm playing, and I notice everybody's talking about those little, how do you pronounce it? Is it automaton? Those little things you like, they have like a round circle right here. They're almost shaped like a musical note with a mouth and a little face down here, and you like squeeze the sides or something and sound comes out, and you change the pitch by moving your hand up and down. Automaton. Automaton? Is it O instead of A? Oh. Well, I hope the internet's still working this week. Hey, Robert. Oh, Thundercat. Yeah, Thundercat's awesome. Hayabusa. Cool. Hayabusa. Hayabusa. Cool. Very cool. Thanks for letting me know the pronunciation on that. Yeah, Thundercat's awesome. This is nothing like Thundercat. This is too happy. And that double click ends up being so loud. Stomp, stomp. So it kind of ruins the ends of the songs. What I can do to fix that is actually the piano sustain pedal. There's a place on this loop pedal, if I can hold it up without unplugging it. There's a place on this loop pedal right here where I can plug in an additional pedal so that way I don't have to double click to stop the song. So I'm going to do that and demonstrate how it's easier real quick. And then maybe every song won't end with a click, click, stomp, stomp kind of sound, just a single stomp. And single stomps don't have to be quite as insanely, I don't know, hard and, fast. They don't end up being quite so loud of a stomp. This is just a piano sustain pedal or damper pedal. And then you have just this kind of end to it, just a normal 1/4 inch. And luckily I have one. And I believe, let me make sure this is right, that you have to reverse the polarity from what the piano would do. So let me see if that's right. That was a really bad loop. Yeah, so I think it's set backwards. Let's see. If it automatically deletes it, yep. So this particular sustain pedal has a switch on the bottom. And you just reverse it from what the piano would do, and then it works for this. I just got lucky that I already had one of those. But if you end up getting that Boss pedal, it's a way to be able to stop things much easier. So let me demonstrate that real quick. So I've got this. All right, so got a little loop going on. So now all I have to do to stop it, instead of having to double click, just click the sustain pedal one time, and it stopped. If I want to start it back up, I just hit the loop pedal one time. If I want to record again, I just hit the loop pedal a second time. So then I've got another recording. I hit the loop pedal to stop it from recording. And I hit the sustain pedal to stop the whole entire thing from playing. So that way, if I'm sitting here soloing, and I want to end the song, then I can just hit it one time, and it's a lot easier. And if I hold it down, it deletes everything. Whereas if I hold the loop pedal down, it just deletes the previously recorded loop. So it's kind of a nice thing to have. If you remember to do it before you start a live stream on YouTube. Awesome. So let's see. What have I missed in this dialogue? Y'all have typed a lot. So Delvin Nolan likes the slap on this. Cool with the Hadeen. Let's see. I'm sorry to hear about the neck on your cheapo Ubase. Let's see. Let's keep going. Alan, I hope you get one for Christmas. It might be fun. The Kala's pretty good. When I have a video comparing those two models specifically. So from the Hadeen to the Kala Wanderer, they're very similar. So you may just want to give it a listen and just check that out. I think I called it like something about cheapest bass ukulele versus Ubase amp test or something. So I was testing them both through an amplifier. That might be worth checking out if you're trying to figure out which one of those to get. Let's see. Very cool. And then I think, wow, someone's saying their bedroom is instrument central. Does he have as many instruments as this room has? I've got the upright bass, I've got the U bass, I've got a controller over here, I've got the fretless bass ukulele. Got a ukulele here in case I want to plug it in and start doing things. Obviously, I think you can see the, well, if it doesn't stay blurry, you can. You can see the Wanderer over there. I have a piano over there, which is where I got the sustain pedal from, an acoustic guitar in the corner. And that's not everything. I've got other basses out in the other room. And oh, cool, getting a 6-string bass might be a cool idea too. For me, when I played gigs with the 6-string a whole bunch, I realized that no matter what I do, it ended up, for me, I had to put a tiny bit of an angle on my wrist in order to reach certain notes, and it wore me out quicker. Just to kind of keep you guys updated on that. At some point, I'll catch up with the bottom of this list. It looks like y'all have typed some stuff since then too. Very cool, very cool. All right, so let's get another automaton. So it's pronounced automaton, not automaton, but automaton. Okay, cool. 2 acoustic guitars, 2 electric basses, an electric guitar, a 12-string, an acoustic 5-string bass. Nice. I think I counted it up one time, and I have something like, or maybe before getting rid of a few things a few weeks ago, I had something like 19 instruments throughout the house. So counting things like harmonicas and whatnot here and there. But yeah, it's kind of fun. Very cool, very cool. So let's see what else we can. How about we do another loop pedal jam? That was kind of fun doing that. Another thing I was thinking was like songs that are easy to loop. If you find songs that have a 1-chord vamp, or they don't change from like 4 chords like for the whole song. So like a good example of that, like I don't know, a lot of the songs that are played on ukulele. If you've ever watched the Axis of Awesome video where they're doing all the 1, 5, 6, 4 chord progression songs, I might do one of those for you guys just for fun. 2 U basses, 2 electric basses, a harmonica, 2 keyboards, a piano, a trumpet. Man, my trumpet, I have one as well. Someone is borrowing it, and they borrowed it before the pandemic, and I need to get it back from them. A violin and 2 acoustic guitars. Not bad. It's like 12. Not bad at all. Very cool. Okay. So anyway, we're not trying to compete with each other, I guess, on instruments, but if you're curious about what other people have, feel free to type it in the chat. But otherwise, don't worry about it too much. It's just fun to kind of think about. So I'm going to do one that uses more chords, because all the jams I've been doing so far, except for the blues jam, have only been a 1-chord jam. Never a competition in music. That's the ideal thing, is to not compete with people, but sometimes we compete with our collections, not actually playing stuff, but yeah. That's one thing. This is kind of a good point. I'll put it this way. A lot of the gigs that have been my favorite gigs that I've ever played, I got through other bass players. So I like that we're a community where we don't compete with each other, but we actually help each other out. And, if there are certain times that I can't make a gig, I try to recommend somebody for it, so that's kind of nice too. But yeah, and it's never about who's better. It's just about who can get the job done. If you can get the job done, that's cool. And I've recommended friends for gigs. Someone recommended me for a touring gig a couple years. Well, I think it was just, I can almost say a couple years ago now, more than a year and a half ago, where I got to play 1940s big band kind of music with the upright bass. And that was a whole bunch of fun, and toured the whole East Coast of the United States. And that was a lot of fun, but it was very different and challenging. But I got that because another bass player didn't want to do it or couldn't do it, and so they recommended me. So it's kind of nice having that. Very cool. All right. So I'm going to do a 1, 5, 6, 4 in C. Very ukulele friendly. I should say ukulele friendly thing that you could jam along to. So that's like a C chord, a G chord, an A minor chord, and an F chord. So I'm going to start with that. I'm just going to start with that and loop that, and then come up with something underneath it. beat maybe. Little loose, but it'll work. So now I'm gonna give it a bass line. I'm thinking like boom, 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 boom. Something arpeggio bass. So now I've got the whole like band arrangement, and it's time to just kind of play a melody over it. But that's a little too loud, so I'll turn it down a little bit. So the level knob on this pedal is just to turn the loop level down. I think your volume still stays just as loud as it is from the instrument. Trying to think. So, what songs can I play over this? So this is a 1-5-6-4 progression, so there should be a lot of things that I could do, but I may have stayed on the chords too short to do a lot of them. So I'm trying to think of which ones still work. So I could kind of do Let It Be for a minute. I'm trying to think of other songs. Maybe see if you recognize these. Slightly different than the original melody. Do you recognize that one? What I'm at least trying to do. Okay. So I'm just gonna solo for a minute. And Navik says he plays his first live song over the weekend. Do you mean in front of family members, or do you mean over YouTube? That's awesome, though. All right, this is getting kind of boring, I think, so I'm gonna go ahead and fade it out. What's kind of fun with that kind of rhythm is you can come up with a lot of fun bass lines. So that bass line I was doing, I think, was something like. So if you notice on the first measure, I'm playing on the downbeat. I'm doing a lot of pentatonic stuff, root, third, fifth, sixth, fifth. And then when I go to the 5 chord, I'm not playing on beat 1, I'm syncopating it. So 1, 2, and 3, and so I'm not playing on beat 1 at all there. And then on the third measure, I am playing on beat 1, and I'm just doing a minor arpeggio, root, root, third, fifth, root. And then on the 4 chord, I was just doing root, fifth, and octave. Something there, but I think I also syncopated the 4th measure. I can't remember. But that's it. Oh, awesome, Jack. So you got a U bass as well. Which model did you get? And congratulations on your first gig. That's awesome, Navix. So real quick, what I'm doing there is just some chord shapes. And I'm not sure how interested, most bass players don't typically play chords at shows or on songs. I say typically, but it does happen. But most of the time we avoid them because it's kind of muddy. But sometimes when you're playing on your own, you can add a little bit more treble to it and lower the bass frequency. And you have some different shapes that you can do. So a minor 7th chord usually consists of like 4 notes, but you can leave out the 5th. So root, 3rd, 5th, 7th. So I'm just going to leave out the 5th and just go root, 3rd, 7th. But I'm going to play the 3rd down here. So let me give you an example. If I'm playing an E minor 7, if you're curious about chord shapes, you can do the 7th fret on the A string, the 5th fret on the D string, and the 7th fret on the G string. Notice which fingers I'm using. Middle finger, pointer, ring works the best for me. And then you pluck all 3 strings, or you can strum them. I mean, however you want to do it. The Dream, UK Dream. I don't think I know that one. Cool. I think somebody else mentioned it as well earlier, but I've never played on that one. So that's a minor 7 shape if you're starting on a note that's on the A string. If you're doing a minor 7 chord, but you're starting on the E string, let's just take B minor, for example. You could do the 5th, you just kind of stack your fingers. So you do the 7th fret on the E string, skip over the A string, and do the 7th fret on the D string and 7th fret on the G string. So this one's easier to pluck. So I'm doing my thumb on the E string, pointer and middle on the D and the G. Oh, it's the cheapest one on Amazon. I need to get one of those and then make a new video, because my video that says cheapest U bass on Amazon is now outdated. So I need to make another video that says cheapest Amazon U bass, or I'd have to say bass ukulele if it's not Kala. Cheapest Amazon bass ukulele of 2021 or something, or 2020. Either way, depending on when I make it. But that's awesome. I'd have to check it out. Yeah, somebody said that the that's what it was. Hayabusa. I'm probably mispronouncing it again. I already forgot it again. Right, it's talking about some of the cheap ones get warped and some of them don't. So I think it's that's the thing. It's kind of hit or miss with the cheaper ones. So if you're going to buy an inexpensive bass ukulele, they're usually inexpensive because the factories do less quality control which means after something makes the instrument, there's less people looking at it and making sure that there's not something wrong with it. So in general, it'll still be good, but every now and then one slips through the cracks, and it happens less when you're in the $400 or $300 to $100 range with the Kala instruments. But sometimes I've never had a bad experience with the Hadin, and I've never had a bad experience really with any of them. I think this was a pretty cheap bass ukulele, the fretless one. It took forever to get here because it shipped from China, but there's a rattle that's really hard to get rid of, and it runs on a 9-volt battery, and it's that casing that rattles. So if I like hold on to that, if I can figure out how to do that in a weird angle. Well, actually, solved one of the rattles, but there's a second rattle apparently. I think that rattle is coming from under here. As you can see, I stuffed a piece of the packing underneath there. You can sort of see that's kind of sticking out underneath the nut over here. That's a little piece of the packing foam to try to get it to not buzz on the nut as well. So there's a whole lot of little things that you might have to do with a cheaper bass ukulele, and figuring out how to get them to not buzz is kind of tricky. I know that with the Hadin I had and even the Kala, I had to do a truss rod adjustment to get some buzzes out of the neck, because if it has a buzz low down on the neck, you don't want that. If you have one way up high on the neck, you can live with that because most of the time you're not going to be playing that high. But sometimes you can get the best of both worlds just by doing the right truss rod adjustment. And some of the problems with the really inexpensive bass ukuleles is part of the reason they're inexpensive is they didn't put a truss rod in. So hopefully that helps a little bit if it has a truss rod, but some of the cheaper ones don't. The other thing is it might be that the action's too low, or that something of that nature, in which case there's not a lot you can do unless you take out the saddle and put a thicker insert underneath it on that end. And with the nut, you may just have to replace the nut or find a way to fill in the grooves a little bit so the strings sit a little bit higher up. So that could help a little bit too. Cool. So you got a truss rod on that one. So the cheapest bass ukulele you could find still has a truss rod. That's awesome. Cool. So this one has one underneath this little cover over here. If you see that little black cover between those strings. And then a lot of the other ones, that one doesn't have a truss rod. So I get the Wanderer over here. If you look there underneath the strings, that's how you get to the truss rod on this one. That makes a cool angle. That'll make a cool picture. Anyway, I might keep this over here so it's just within arm's length. All right. Yeah, so check if it does just to make sure, but hopefully that helps a little bit. A piece of popsicle stick under the bridge. Awesome. Yeah, if it needs to be a little bit higher, you have to do some interesting things. I noticed that with the flat wound and the round wound strings, I didn't have any buzz issues. They don't vibrate as wide, so usually they don't buzz as easily. Okay, yeah, so that's the thing, Jack. Some of the cheaper ones don't have it. Man, I wish I knew a Thundercat song well enough to do that. I know he has some that that have some cool changes. I just don't know them at all, to be honest. I really like Thundercat though. In fact, I went to NAMM, the thing that happens in California where they talk about all the different musical instruments at some point, and got to play on the Thundercat bass. They had one of them there, and I think I have a picture of it on Instagram, so I'm not sure how well this will work pulling up the phone picture and then sharing that with you guys, but it was almost 2 years ago at this point, so it might take a little while to scroll through because Instagram doesn't like loading a bunch of stuff. Let me see if I can find that picture because it's a cool picture. Worth sharing. Let's see. From before the tour. Kind of looks like a giant version. There we go. It's a way oversized bass. It's like humongous. It's like if you took this, did a like yellow sunburst kind of thing in the middle, still had the flat wound strings, but you had 6 of them, and the neck is, you know, this long. It's a massive instrument, but it makes for a really cool picture. So there you go. That's the bass that Thundercat uses, which is amazing. All right. Let's see. But yeah, I wish I could do a Thundercat song. Sorry about that. I heard those basses are like over 1,000. I think it's closer to 10,000. Maybe you meant to type 10,000, but the Thundercat one, I feel like it was. I feel like it was 10,000. If I'm not mistaken, maybe it was just 8,000 or something. But it was expensive, and I put it down when I realized, you know, that. But yeah, it's an expensive bass. Right. But honestly, I think there are things that you can still, Jack, that you can still do to raise the action. But sometimes things do warp on those. This one doesn't have a truss rod either, this fretless, and it's been good so far besides the buzzes, but those buzzes aren't from the neck. Those buzzes are from things being loose. So it's a little bit different. Right. So I want to say that the Thundercat one was something insane, and I'm going to look it up now just to just for kicks. But I mean, his bass is really cool. But I probably, if I was going to spend $10,000 on something, I'd probably get a car instead of a bass. As much as I like basses, even though Thundercat's bass is really cool, that's just a massive. Either way, it's a massive amount of money. Thundercat bass. I'm going to type the words for sale and see what happens. Okay, it's only there's one that's only $7,000. So maybe it's not quite as expensive as I thought it was. It's only $7,000. Still, I'm not going to pay $7,000 for a bass. You found one for 6. I found one for upper 6, like it rounds up to 7. Maybe you found a used one or something. So I'm finding 6,999. So it's really 7. But yeah, either way, it was cool playing that bass. I would have hated to drop it. Oh, okay, euros. Yeah, that's different. Okay, I'm talking about US dollars. So still, it's a lot. Cool. All right. Only, yeah, right. I think if I had that amount, I would do something different with it. As nice as that bass is, this is the closest thing I'll probably get to the Thundercat bass, is just having a similar body shape, the similar color in the sense that, you know, I don't have the yellow in the middle. It's not a sunburst, but it does have like the orangey red on the outside, and the flat wound strings. So this is as close to the Thundercat bass as I'll probably be buying something that's like it. But it is a pretty sweet bass, and it was fun playing on it. All right. So I know my last video that I posted was the Linus and Lucy theme, and someone was saying they were going to try it out. I can't remember who it was, but they were going to try it out on their with their loop pedal. And I was telling them, you just missed some of the chord changes if you did that. So like, you know, there are 2 bass parts in the version that I did, and eventually it changes up to here. So it'd probably be easier to just leave out that change and just loop the first part. And then just play all the melody stuff over that. All right. Apparently the weather is affecting this tuning, because that sounded awful. Yes, indeed. You're all out of whack. Ooh, the A string keeps going sharp. And sometimes I'm having to stretch the string, and because I like filed the groove underneath the E string on the nut, sometimes it gets stuck there because I didn't file it quite wide enough, and so it often remains sharp, like it's doing right now. So sometimes I have to kind of slide it through with a little bit of force. All right, let's try that again. Now that we've got that working. So we've got that. So you can do the other part over that. It just sounds boring on that part. So you just don't get that extra chord change right there. But you can do everything else. And then you stop the pedal here. At the extra time. And whoops, if you hit the right pedal, it'll start back up and you can keep going. So that was a little bit rough, but basically that whole version that I did was based off of the Stu Hamm version where he taps both parts. You get the idea. So being able to do both those things, but that's a lot harder to get a clean sound and to be accurate where the frets are so close together as opposed to a full scale electric bass. And I figured that might be too hard for a lot of people that don't want to do all the tapping stuff and learn all the tapping stuff. So I split them apart and did two hands separate, but it's really his arrangement. But it's a really, really cool version. I know a lot of people tap with one finger instead of three like I was doing. For me, I feel like I can be more accurate like that, but maybe not on U-bass. I might be more accurate with one finger doing that. Let's see. Nope. Yeah, and I kind of mess up one part of it when I do that. I'd have to do it a little bit slower there. Yeah, so the small fret ratio is awesome unless you're playing up there a whole bunch and tapping and everything. But it's pretty cool. All right, so let's do another genre and another little jam. You got a different genre. We did blues, we did funk, we did kind of a Motowny sort of soulful tune. I guess all those were really, a couple of those were minor grooves, a couple of them were major. But let's get one more genre that we maybe haven't done yet and a different key as well. So I'm gonna see who's paying attention. One person can just throw up the genre and the other person could throw that in. Southern rock, okay. Funky chonky in E minor. We've done some funk, so I don't know about that. So we got classic rock and southern rock. I could literally do some. Let's see. I could literally do some of those bands, I guess. Let's see what happens. I wonder if I can get a higher octave. That'd be kind of bluesy too. That'd be kind of hard to do. So we got some Bach on there too. Maybe. That's the last part of it. But anyway, is vaporwave a playable genre? Oh man, the Outlaws. We're getting all sorts of things. I'm kind of going to jump back to the Southern Rock. I'm trying to think Southern Rock in E minor. Usually Southern Rock is in. I'm trying to take the key that I was given and the genre that I was given, and I'm trying to think of some Southern Rock sounds that could be in minor. I'm usually hearing major stuff for Southern Rock. Wow. You've got a lot of different things going on here. Y'all hit me with a lot of stuff. Southern Rock, I mean, you know, I could do the cliche stuff. And, you know, I could loop that kind of thing. You know, I could loop that stuff. But that's... Okay, so we've got so many things going on here, so I'm gonna have to do a few of them, I guess. So Southern Rock. I'm trying to think of something besides Sweet Home Alabama to make it more fun. If I did Allman Brothers, I suppose. I wonder if I can make this work. I'm gonna have to see if my brain can do it. You said E minor though, so I could try to do the song Whipping Post, but do it in E minor instead of A minor. That would be kind of weird. Let's stick to the A minor. You know, it's A Dorian, so that would be the key E minor. That's okay. I think that does work. See, I figured it out. Using theory, I figured out that I can do this, right? Let's see. I got to make sure that I can play the other parts before I... A little late on that one, but it's okay. I don't think that's right. Sounds kind of cool anyway. Okay, but the problem is that now I'd have to figure out how to stop this and then loop the other part where it goes into the other part. So now we got that. I don't think I know the... I don't think I can get to the 4 chord though. Definitely Yeah, that's kind of hard to do all together, but that's kind of fun. Cool. So hopefully that covers the Southern Rock. Since it's A Dorian, that's technically the same key as E minor, so I'm sneaking that in there. If you don't understand that, I'm going to really quickly go through that. So A Dorian is the second mode of the G major scale. And then the Aeolian mode of G major, the relative mode, meaning it consists of the same notes, is going to be E minor. So therefore, A Dorian, E minor, Southern Rock, Whipping Post, we got it. Okay, so I got those out of the way, although I didn't do anything funky. I was going to pick the genre from one person and the key from another person. So with Robert, I tried to do some Bach earlier with the, let's see. And how to do that? I can't do that there, but you get the idea. Okay, so we got all sorts of things. So now we've got bluegrass and Van Halen and the Outlaws. I'm trying to think of the Outlaws. Which song by the Outlaws were you hoping for? I don't know that I know any really. I'm trying to think. I think I've had to play one, but I don't remember how to play it, if that makes sense. So now we've got some bluegrass. So we'll get around to everything else. So bluegrass, I'm going to do it in the key of G just because that's the most common. D and G are the most common bluegrass keys. So let's see what we can do. I'm going to start with the bass line, I guess. Let's see. I think it's too much walking. Ooh, it's a little out of time. That's okay. Cool. Hit the pedal at the right time. So we got bluegrass, eruption. Can't do the whole thing. I never worked that out. I'm not. If you want to hear a bass player do that, what Charles thought or something. Maybe I can pretend to do the tapping part though. Wrong key. You get the kind of idea. I can't remember the rest of it. Yeah, I don't know the rest, but that's all I can do of eruption. Good call though. Let's see, where are we at? Hi, Overly Creative One. Good to hear from you. Sorry to hear where you're from, where you're at right now, but still good to hear from you. Play eruption on eBay. So that's what I just did. How about that one? Great stuff. All right. I'm glad it feels like, Jack, I'm glad it feels like you're being talked to on TV. It's just a lot of fun kind of hanging out and talking to everybody. Honestly, I live alone, so it's kind of fun just being able to talk to a lot of people, during these times where we're not supposed to be hanging out with people too often. So it's been pretty nice. Cool. So Alan, it looks like you've been writing a song, 2-bar loop, 82 beats per minute. Very cool. So you said an A minor once, an E major once, and F minor 3 times. So is that like 3 strums or three notes, or I don't know. I'm not going to worry too much about the beats per minute. But you had like an A minor going on. Then you had an E major. And then F sharp minor. So I'm not sure when you say played once or played twice, played 3 times. So 1 bar maybe. So I'm not sure if you mean measures or just like single hits, like, I'm not sure. And with High Tide and Green Grass, I feel like I've had to teach that one before, but it was so long ago that I don't really remember how the parts go. But that's a good one too. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh no, we've got the trolling comments. This isn't Baby 504's stream. I don't think he streams much anyway, right? What are we doing this like? I guess I should try to do this with the loop pedal, right? So we got, what is it? She's always hitting 2 drums at the same time, so I'll pluck 2 strings at the same time and try this. 5, 6, 7, 8. And apparently I'll hit multiple strings at a time. So let's do that again. We got to make it good. In fact, I'll just, that's better. Got to add a snare in there. That's where I should have done that. Oh well. Something you'll never hear over it, the solo, right? Impromptu arrangement of it. Kind of fun. All right, so we've got that. So that's kind of cool because that one's pretty easy to do with the loop pedal, as long as you can stop it to play the and if you want to sound more full, if I had thought about it in time, I could have added the low octave with it. So it's a pretty big stretch. Doing a G down here, 3rd fret on the E string, and then a G that's a 5th fret on the D string, and then getting the D note as a 7th fret on the G string, and then moving that pattern up 1 whole step. So that way you have like a bass down here and the power chords up there. Right, so you could do something cool like that to fill out the sound a little bit. I was even just then trying to strum the higher notes and just play quarter notes with the low string, and it almost worked. You want to get crazy, but I'd have to work that out to make it sound a little bit better. Okay, so the only thing I haven't done a lot of Bach or Beethoven. I know that Robert said Bach, but then he also said Ode to Joy, I thought I saw. So I think Ode to Joy, it's attributed to Beethoven, but it was really like a melody that he harmonized really well. So it's like, I think it was just like, like how folk music kind of appears, and there's just a common melody that everybody knows the melody. I think it was another one of those. I know that, the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, Mozart did a really cool thing with that melody, but didn't actually write the melody, just did variations on a common theme like that. I think that was the idea with Ode to Joy, although I don't know all the details there. So let me think for a second. It's usually in the key of D. I don't like doing it in the key of D on here. I'm going to try it in the key of G instead. It'll give me more room to do some root notes. What do I like doing there? We've got the... and I like doing something here. So hopefully that works a little bit for Ode to Joy. Trying to make everybody happy on here. Can you play for Elise on bass? I do have an arrangement of it. It was probably put it out like more than 2 years ago, and honestly, right now I couldn't tell you for sure how to do the whole. It's been so long since I played it, I have to like pull it up to be able to do it. Right, that whole kind of thing. Something like that. Oh, very cool. Awesome. As far as Christmas Eve, I'm trying to figure out, there's a church service that I'm going to be playing, and I'm not sure if it's in the morning or at night. So if it's at night, I may not be playing it. And I forgot to kind of mention this. Yeah, this is plugged in. I have it very quiet on purpose because if I turn the amp up too loud, sometimes it overdrives the mic. But yes, this is plugged in. Right now I have the treble turned a little bit high, so you're probably hearing some more high end than that. If you want to hear what it was like unplugged, I could just hit the tuner button. So that's unplugged, and here's plugged in. And here's plugged in with a little less treble. So hopefully that helps a little bit. So let's see. And as far as Christmas Eve and then New Year's Eve, this may really be, and I think I figured this out and then forgot, but unless I'm wrong about the Christmas Eve service being at if it's in the morning instead of at night, then this may be the last one of the year. And I was going to title it that, and then thought that I was wrong about that and didn't title it that way. But this might be it. So does anybody have anything they want to ask about regarding New Year's, or ideas for the new year, or just anything kind of cool? I'm going to mention that I think it's a good idea to like make goals for your bass playing for the year, and maybe just for the first few months kind of thing, just to get you started. But like if there's a song that you particularly like a lot, try learning it and doing that. Oh, okay. You played a church service? Very cool. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun playing a church service. It's pretty cool. I think I'm playing the upright during that too, so it's been really fun because the normally that church that has me play electric bass, but for the holiday season they wanted upright, so it's been kind of fun getting to do that. Yes, so when I'm playing upright bass at the service. Yep. All right. I think I'm gonna make up a song. What if I tried to do something that has a little more like finger style? Let me try that. That sounds kind of cool. I like that. It's kind of cool. Cool. That's kind of fun. Kind of an ambient little thing. Just a kind of last minute idea. Turned out pretty good. Maybe I should turn that into something or make it a lesson or something. Cool. So we got a short scale Squire. Keep thinking about the other things I could do. I think with this loop pedal, the only problem is if I try to unplug stuff, it'll make a loud sound through the amp. So I don't really have a way to not make the amp clip right now. If I had a a tuner pedal in the mix, then I could just hit that to do this. But currently I don't have one in there. Yeah, Hofner is really cool. I really like having the Journeyman because it's almost like a small Hofner. It almost has like a cool tone in that way and everything. Cool. So just for fun, I might switch it up. Let's see. What can I do to switch it up? I'm thinking about getting, since y'all keep talking about Squires over there, I might pull out a Squire vintage, what's it called? Classic Vibe series, I think is what they call them. Classic Vibe 70s jazz bass. So I know it's not the U bass, but I kind of feel like looping with that for a minute before calling it a night. So I'll switch over to that. I've had it for almost a year now, and it's been really good to me. It's what I use for weddings and for most of the church services. Let's see. All right. So if I get this out, I'm definitely going to slap because I think that the slap tone on this is just awesome, in my opinion. I have to tune first, though. I'm tuning the wrong string. Oh, close enough. Okay. So one thing about the way I was tuning, if you noticed, all of the strings were sharp. So what I did was I dropped them down below pitch and brought them back up to pitch. This is especially important on the rubber string bass ukuleles because when you're playing, it tugs on the string, and if there's any extra string kind of hanging out here or that's loose over here, that would happen from loosening the string, but when you tighten it, it would fix that. So if you loosen the string, there might be a tiny bit bunched up, and as you play, the strings might go progressively flat. So it's just good to kind of sort of stretch the strings a little bit in that sense by tuning up to pitch. All right, well, thanks for hanging out. Hayabusa. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. And I already forgot. Isn't that amazing? And I'm going to do a little kind of maybe a slap jam or something. Kind of like doing that. My foot was out of time. Let's see how that sounds. Yeah, we don't want the double click. So that's the other thing. You got to be really in time with it. And what kind of helps is kind of like moving your body along with what you're playing. Or you can do the same thing twice. Third time's a charm. Just not hit the last note, because it's the first note too. Man. Let's see if I figure out something like that. But yeah, it's kind of fun just playing around on here, doing slap, doing some other things, trying some, just moving some patterns around. Just kind of fun. Is it coming through okay, or is it kind of distorting? I realize I'm playing this one a little bit louder. So yeah, it's kind of fun just going through. That's a pattern that I like to loop a lot. It's just something that my hands do when I pick up a bass. Because of stuff that I've practiced, and it's in E minor because I'm hitting an open E string and an open G string a lot, and both those notes are in an E minor chord. So it kind of works. You could argue they're both in a C major chord, but if I'm the lowest note I'm hitting is an E, it really feels like E minor, and I'm not hitting a C at all. Doesn't really sound the same. So all the different slap things I'm doing, I'm slapping with this hand. Sometimes I'm just muting with this hand. Other times I'm actually hitting it hard enough to get a second slap. Right? So that's kind of cool doing that. It's harder to get that slap to be loud enough on the U bass, but it's pretty cool. But yeah. Well, Alan, I hope you can afford some cool cheap instruments in the future. I think I'm trying to think of what the coolest cheap instruments I have, because I don't have the I don't want to butcher the name again. I don't have that one instrument. I have harmonicas. I have a really cheap ocarina. I have I have this little MIDI keyboard, but right now I don't have a program to really run it through to get cool sounds out of it. I need to download something. So I have a 88 key piano just off screen over here, and it's really an electric piano, so it's kind of a keyboard itself, but it has weighted keys. So that's the cool thing about it. And yeah, just a lot of fun having instruments like that. I'm trying to think of the cheaper ones. I guess stuff like shakers, with the drums. I have a cajon over off screen because for some reason I decided to sit on this instead of the cajon. But that's always fun. Can't loop it right now because I don't have a microphone hooked up to the loop pedal. But if I hooked a microphone up to it, I could get a drum beat from here. So I'm not great at playing it like traditionally, but I can imitate a drum set with it, which is kind of fun. Yeah, I might end up getting one of the is it automaton? I might end up getting one of those. We'll see. So does anybody want to do one more where you name a style and a genre? Just one more, I think, and then I'm gonna go ahead and call it after that because it's getting kind of late. I mean, not really that late here, but we've been an hour and 30 minutes into it. But it would be cool to kind of end the year if this ends up being the last stream. I might end up doing one on a different day, just for kicks, just to have one more before the very end of the year. But this might be it, So I'm just debating on what to do. So just let me know if there's anything else you want to hear. I know we've covered most of the styles. I guess we haven't done metal, but that'd be kind of tricky to do with just bass, I think. Yeah, it's only 8:35. I'm just saying it's been an hour and a half. Another Christmas song. That's an interesting idea. Let's see. What would be a good one? Let's see. Kind of silly to do this one. All right, so that one's kind of been done too many times, I think. Let's see. Hard to think about the harmony and the melody at the same time. I haven't thought of it too much. But yeah, that'd be kind of cool. It's about all I know really of White Christmas. I'd have to kind of like learn all the details of the song to really be able to do that one right. Well, everybody, have a good night. Have a good rest of the week and probably the rest of the year. Merry Christmas to those that celebrate Christmas. Happy holidays to everybody else. And just trying to include all of them in there in one fell swoop. And then maybe even Happy New Year. You'll see more Tuesday videos, but this may be it for live streams for the year. But I'll start back up in the new year with some new stuff and maybe some new ideas. We'll see what happens. I'm going to give it some thought. Have a great rest of your year and be safe and, have as much fun as you can over the holidays. And I will see you guys next time. Take care.